Hello everybody. I'm going to do another video. Most of it will be a silent video, but I'm going to speed it up through After Effects because I'm going to be recording for hours. And the final product won't be like a 10-hour video. But this is a programming session. This is for Guardian. I've made a lot of changes and I'm going to show you what I've done and then I'm going to get to it. Again, this will be no mic after I show you a few things. Okay. Where are you at? Here we are. That's what I needed to split apart. Okay. So, I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. I have a lot of work to do in this, and you'll see here in a minute what I mean. So, you'll notice this is the very top of the file. So this is this pane over here, pane number 1, right? Oh, crap, now I gotta put this back together, right? Hold on. There we go. Pane 1, pane 2. This is a .header file, .h. See? That's the full path, but it's a header file. And so, basically, these are just declarations and such and such. So, I have created, at least partially created, the security system, the authentication system for Guardian. And it all revolves around these two structs here, these two classes here, right? So you got a target tier and a permission. Target tier is just like I said, you got a target tier and you got permission. A target tier is basically like identifies it whether it's system, obviously admin, user, guest, quarantine, whether it's blocked, whether it's revoked, or the target tier is unknown. And then it's got a permission, and that's none, read, write, delete, execute, full control, and system. That's the basics of my security system. And you may be thinking, well, that's really easy to bypass. It's not. And here's why. Yeah, we have just a target tier and a permission, right? Okay. We also have a security authority, a security manager, a target permission handler, and an access control protocol, which we will go through all of that before I go into my actual, deep work. But before we can talk about any of this, right, any of this stuff here, well, really, any of this, before we can talk about any of this, we have to talk about auth token, this class right here, auth token. That's what I've named it. And auth token is kind of like a passport, right? If you want to leave the country, you got to have a passport. Well, you got to have a token to get into my system. And that's what this is. And you'll notice target tier and permission are the very first two items there in the private section of this auth token. And that's because there's a tier identity and then a permission level that token carries. It's all self-explanatory. Just read the comment. No, but so these two are unique identifiers for each individual token. And then it goes on and it has identity flags. And these are just basically true or false. Is this token that you're creating, is it system? Is it an admin token? Is it a user token? Is it a guest token? Is it a quarantined token? Is it blocked? Is it revoked? And is it a valid token? And then, of course, it's got its own tracking stats. So these are numbers. So, every time a token is quarantined, ooh. You know, and that just gave me an idea. I might be adding that to it. And you'll see that in a minute. So, like I said, this is your passport through the system. And I've added a few things. Okay? So only the security authority, which I'll show you that in a minute, can authorize these tokens. They're the only ones that can create them. And that's why this is a private constructor, because I don't want a hacker to be able to create a token and give themselves system access. That makes no sense. It's not safe. So it's private on purpose for that purpose. So see, private constructor, only callable by friends, authority manager via the security authority. And I'll show you that in a second. Right now, I'm just showing you the token you need. So you'll notice, though, this is the full constructor of an auth token, okay? You've got a tier, a permission level in the perimeters, and you got a bunch of booleans here. And this sets everything kind of up, and then it continues setting it up. And then it goes on. You know, everything is... So the main thing you need to understand about this auth token is if this is not set correctly, if this is valid as false, like you'll notice in the public section of this token, it's false. It's not a valid token. That means if I were to type out auth token and try to create my own token, it's not a valid token. And there's a purpose. The purpose of that is to keep the security system safe. So that's the passport. That's your individual passport into the system, and it's determined by the authority manager. However, and the security authority. These two items here, the single trusted authority that issues tokens. Constructed once at system initiation, and it holds the master secret. But before I added a thing to my system, though, because I was, like, for example, let me show you an example of this internal messenger, right? So this is internal messenger, and I want to show you something. Let's just pull open a random function, this can authorize system, okay? So here, this function is basically verifying that the person can authorize a system token, okay? So it takes a token, and then it goes through a procedure, and it verifies whether it's a system or an admin token. If it's either of them, it returns verify system token. It returns the function verify system token with the appropriate token that you have put in. Otherwise, it emits an access denied. Notice, internal messenger, emit access denied. Emit access denied. And this literally just prints things to the screen. See? Bunch of printouts things. That's all this function does. It literally just prints out the error. So let's say you try to access can authorize system, but you don't have an admin token or a system token, and you have, let's say, a user token. Well, guess what? It's going to go attempting to authorize system level access. And you'll notice right below it, quarantine token. That's a relatively, and I mean like last night development. So I've got this internal messenger which kind of reports to the screen or to whatever I want it to report to that something's gone wrong or something's gone right. It's like an internal messenger for Guardian. Well, as you remember, the authority manager, which is this, is the only thing that can, through the process of the security manager or security authority, can issue these actual tokens. So, what do you mean? I mean, like this, issue system admin token. And then it goes to manager, because manager is right here, authority manager. And the authority manager is an AI-based, yes, I said AI, and then I realize how dangerous this is, but AI, see, Sentinel authority, like, what? And Sentinel authority is the actual, like, kind of like, okay, these are the actual tiers. It kind of verifies, okay, this is an actual system token, this is a block token. It's kind of verifying in the background. You won't know it's happening, but it's in the background working, right? So this is the Sentinel authority, which is a nested struct within authority manager. And you'll notice, create token, target tier admin, caller token. So I thought about it, and I was like, well, that's great. So I've got a way to issue the tokens, and I got a way to verify that it's a system token and all of that. But then I thought, well, access control protocol, it didn't really do much until I did this. So you've got the control handler, that's the target permission handler. It basically verifies that the token is the right permission and all that. It's got its own little features. That's not what I'm wanting to talk about here. What I'm working on right now is this, the access control protocol. And think of this as kind of like the step before the security manager. It's kind of like the gate, okay? It's the gate between this system and that system. So we've got the control handler here. Now what you'll notice here is, and I've been doing this a lot, only because it's necessary. And you may be like, well, what are these? I'm glad you asked. Let's open them up and take a look. So I've given access control protocol complete access to this class. Obviously, it makes sense. We've got a temporary ban duration, 60 minutes. We've got a vector of ban expiry times. We have a string that says protocol name. We have a quarantine counts, and that basically is like a map of all of the quarantines that have happened for a token that you've issued through the protocol. And you'll see what I mean. So we have a string of a vector of ban tokens, and so this is like if the token has had so many different violations, it goes to the ban list. And if it's in the banned list, it can't be used. It's basically been revoked. So we've got all these little accessor functions. It lift the ban, expired ban. This basically just kind of expired entry and returns true if one was found and lifted. Basically, it allows me to ban a token for, like, say, an hour. Ban the passport because it's been bad. So that's the protocol token ban list. And there's also a permanent ban list. And this one you can't get off of. Like, I've designed it that way. So that's the control protocol token ban list. Well, okay, so that doesn't answer anything. what does that do? Well, let me show you. Do you remember me showing you this little quarantine token function over here? Well, guess what? Quarantine token. Let's take a look. So what we have here is we have a couple, like, constant variables, right? Max user count 50, max system count 50, max user count is 10, and the max amount of guest counts of quarantine violations is 5. See? 50, 10, and 5. Phase 1, handle tokens whose temporary ban window has expired. What does that mean? Well, it says if in token ban list the ban is expired for this token ID, which the token ID is just token get token ID. It's a function to get the ID of the token. It's a way to quarantine the token. But it's saying if the ban is expired and the token is not, and that token ID is not on the permanently banned list, and then it goes into a multi-level logic system here, and it says if the token is a system token or it's an admin token, and the current count, which is the current quarantine count, is less than or equal to the maximum system count, which is it's basically saying if the current amount of times that token has been quarantined is greater than or equal to 50, then we remove it from the temporary ban list, remove it from the permanent ban list, we clear the token restrictions, and then we submit a message saying the ban has been expired. Or otherwise, if it's greater than 50, we add it to the permanent ban list, and then we revoke the caller. And revoke caller, internal revoke caller, is this function, and it literally just sets the token to revoked. And it adds it to the permanent ban list, and it spits out a message. Caller token permanently revoked by the ACP enforcement due to repeated violations. And that's exactly what it will say. It'll say, hey, you were bad. We've now banned you. You're revoked. You're done. So that's what revoking does. So, like I said, then we revoke the token and we emit the message. But then it goes on after this. So then it says, if the token is a user token and the current count of quarantines is greater than or equal to 10, the ban gets extended. Otherwise, we clean up the registry. If it's a guest token, it's the same thing. For guests, if the current count of quarantine is greater than 5, ban them. They're done. Internal revoke. Okay? Then it goes on to say, phase 2, high count threshold escalation. The active ban is still running. Refresh count. Phase 1 may have mutated it via set quarantine count. It says, if the token is a system token or the token is an admin token, and the current count is less than or equal to 50, or the max system count, increment the quarantine count and set the token to quarantine. And then you add basically it gets the new quarantine count, updates it, and then it says, however, if the current count is, and then it goes on to say, if the current count, and actually, this needs to go here. And then if the current count, because that would be within that block and it wouldn't work. So we got to move that down there. And it says if the current count is greater than max system count, or 50, then we set the quarantine count, we add it to temporary ban list, and then we revoke the caller. If you hit the maximum amount of quarantines, you're out. I don't care. You're out. You're done. There is a way to restore those tokens, if we so choose to let you back in. Then it goes on to say, if it's a token of a user, we just extend the ban. Which I think that's messed up. I feel like I need to add a revoke there, too. And then it goes on to purging it, and then applying the quarantine. And it's a big one. So that's essentially what the quarantine token function is. It's a lot of logic. Yeah. That's my baby. And that's just one of many functions. But I've got all kinds of functions here. I've got unblock token, can token be revalidated, lift token ban. It goes on and on and on. So now I have a way. So like this can authorize system function, right? Do I want a user to be able to authorize a system? No. So what if someone is the user and they throw their token in here? Well, they're going to hit the else block. They're going to receive a warning. And they better hope their token quarantine count is not greater than 10, because if they get quarantined now, that token's gone. It's revoked. Or it should be that way. So without further ado, I'm going to get back to what I was actually doing. And this is where audio is silence.
So I've been messing around with After Effects because I just did a video on my program and I sped it up. And this is what it sounds like.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to do another video. Most of it will be a silent video, but I'm going to speed it up through After Effects because I'm going to be recording for hours. And the final product won't be like a 10-hour video. But this is a programming session. This is for Guardian. I've made a lot of changes, and I'm going to show you what I've done, and then I'm going to get to it. Again, this will be no mic after I show you a few things. Okay. Where are you at? Here we are. That's what I needed to split apart. Okay. So, I don't even know where to begin. I really... Hello, everybody. I'm going to do another video. Most of it will be a silent video, but I'm going to speed it up through After Effects because I'm going to be recording for hours. And the final product won't be like a 10-hour video. But this is a programming session. This is for Guardian. I've made a lot of changes, and I'm going to show you what I've done, and then I'm going to get to it. Again, this will be no mic after I show you a few things. Okay. Where are you at? That's what I needed to split apart. Okay. So, I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. I have a lot of ways to do this, and you'll see here in a minute what I mean.
I think I'm gonna go with this
You'll
one.
notice this is the very top of the file. So this pane over here, pane number 1. Right? Oh, crap, I gotta put this back together, right? Hold on. There we go.
Oh
Pane
my
1,
god.
pane 2. This is a .header file, .h. See? That's the full path, but it's a header file. And so basically these are just declarations, such and such. So
I don't know. I can't really understand.
I have created, at least partially created, the secure...
Okay. Let's try something else. Let's go faster. Like a little chipmunk. Like a squirrel or a chipmunk. Okay, enough of that. Enough of that. Stop. I'm not going with that for sure. Time stretch. What is this?
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna do another video. Most of it will be a silent video, but I'm gonna speed it up.
Oh my gosh.
After Effects. I'm gonna be recording for hours. No product won't be like a 10-hour video. Basically, this is the programming.
Making a video of a video. Well, I don't know what speed I want to set it at. Jesus.
Be like a 10-hour video. But this is a programming.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with
This is for
75.
Guardian.
Oh no! That's not what I wanted. Crap. I just hit the wrong one. Okay, I fixed that problem. And then... Okay, this is 75.
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna do another video. Most of it will be a silent video, but I'm gonna speed it up through After Effects because I'm gonna be recording for hours.
Which isn't
and the final
true.
product won't be like a 10-hour video. But I'm basically, this is a programming session.
I think this is better.
for
I'm gonna go
Guardian.
with this.
I've made a lot of changes, and I'm gonna show you what I've done.
All right. Be prepared for a new video.